Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name's Natalie. I'm here to show you a what I eat in a day, breakfast, lunch and dinner, eating as a whole food, plant-based vegan. I'm over here in the UK. It's absolutely freezing at the moment, beginning of the year, my first video of 2022, first of very, very many, I have to say. I'm loving how my channel's going and I'm really enjoying making these videos. So thank you for all of your support. Honestly, it really means so much. Your comments have really made my day, and having these new subscribers and new views has just been really exciting. So this video, I will show you what I'm going to be eating. Like I said, I am following a whole food plant-based lifestyle, eating predominantly the Starch Solution way, and that is what this channel will predominantly be about. So really showcasing the lifestyle and everything that is good about it. Is there any particular videos that you would love to see? Because I am open to suggestions. I really want to get into the nutritional side of this diet as well and explaining how and why it is so good for us. So you will see some videos like that coming from me as well. I also want to let you know I'm going to revive my Instagram. It has been laying dormant for months and months and months. I kind of dropped off with Instagram a while ago. So I'll put my handle up here, Wholehearted Vegan. If you would like to come over to Instagram and follow me, that would be great. I'm going to post more regularly on there. Like my YouTube is once a week at the moment. I would love to do it twice a week, and maybe if things allow, I will. Over on Instagram, I can post more regularly, and also you can actually have conversations over there much more easily in the direct messages, whereas over here on YouTube, it's not so easy. So let's jump into today's video. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. I will show you what I ate very recently. So for breakfast this day, I had mixed vegetables with porridge, fruit and a coffee. So I chopped up a whole courgette, I think you call them zucchinis in America, and 3/4 of a red bell pepper that I had in the fridge. It doesn't really matter how much you have, if you had double this or half this. On Starch Solution, it's not about the amount of food so much as to what the food is. I also used some baby spinach. So I threw these vegetables into a small pan with a tiny splash of filtered water. I like the Brita water filter, I find that really useful. And I added my oats to another pan, and I use the traditional rolled oats. And again, just make mine with water. I don't add plant milk or anything to my oats. I've got used to not having that and it's fine. And I use frozen blueberries, absolutely love frozen fruits in porridge. So I've got some coconut aminos here, which I put into the veggies, which gives a really nice flavour and also really helps with the cooking. And I just keep that moving so it doesn't stick to the bottom. And I added a tiny dash of maple syrup into my oats as well, just for a tiny bit of sweetness. If you're using plant milk, you probably don't need that, but it's entirely up to your personal taste. So when it's nearly done, I will add a big handful of spinach and wilt that, and always make my coffee. I have one big coffee once a day. So I chopped up a whole apple. This was a pink lady apple. And I added cocoa milk, which is a coconut milk. I absolutely love coconut milk. And then I served up. So you can see the spinach is nicely wilted and there's a nice flavour from the aminos. You could use a bit of soy sauce perhaps. And make my porridge and top that with the fruit, today being apple. Really, really tasty, very filling, really nutrient dense as well. You can see there's so much going on, loads of flavours, and yeah, there's no way you're going to have a meal like this and feel hungry afterwards. It makes you feel nice and full and satisfied. So for lunch this day, I prepped this just after breakfast. So I had 3 big white baking potatoes, which I chopped into quarters, and I put these onto steam. So this I did after breakfast. I just had these steaming for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I prepped a few of these onto a tray ready for lunchtime and just put that into the oven with some smoked paprika and black pepper. And then when I wanted to eat my lunch, which on this day was about 2 p.m, I made a green salad with tomatoes. And I always chop up my spinach and rockets in the bowl that I'm mixing my salad in. I just prefer it that way, it's so much easier to eat. So I washed my tomatoes. I love these tomatoes on the vine. I do think they've got more flavour. Chop those up, and the juice that comes out of the tomatoes helps to sort of dress the leaves as well. And I also treated myself. I don't normally buy things like this, but I bought some of these really cute variety tomatoes and added those too. Added some pepper and my favourite balsamic, which is the Odysseus balsamic. I'll link that down in the description below. And I just gave that a good mix around. I think I might have added a pinch of salt as well, because salt and tomatoes is a good combo. And as you can see, after about an hour of cooking those steamed wedges, they go so super crispy and golden, so delicious. So for lunch, I had 4 of those massive wedges, which is basically one massive jacket potato, and a big green salad, and that was so tasty. And dinner this day, I made a really wonderful recipe inspired by my son, who made it for me on New Year. I've adapted it and changed it to make it Starch Solution. So 1 big white onion and 3 or 4 medium carrots, chopped up finely. As you can see, I've got a chopper, so that helps. And 1 big pack of white mushrooms, but any mushrooms you've got is fine. It really doesn't matter at all which kind you use. So the carrot and the onions go into a large pan. And while they are sautéing, add an entire can of chickpeas with the liquid into a blender with a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic and 100 ml of plant milk. I used soy milk here, and blend that to a liquid. The potatoes that I steamed earlier in the day, they can be roughly chopped now as well. So it's about 1 to 2 of those potatoes. Add the mushrooms to the carrot and onions after about 10 minutes and add in a tin of chopped tomatoes, about 400 grams. Combine that and cover it, and the mushrooms are going to start to release their liquid. So after about another 5-7 minutes, you've got loads of liquid here and you don't want that to evaporate away. So throw in the red lentils and they will absorb all of that nutrients and that water that's come out of the mushrooms. And you can now add in the chickpeas that have been liquidized and give this a thorough mix. I know it doesn't look amazing at this point, but bear with me, it gets so good. Add in that steamed potato and another tin's worth of water. 3 tablespoons of tomato puree and about 15 grams of mushroom seasoning. I'll put a link to that below in the description. Around 2 tablespoons of soy sauce or liquid aminos, lots of black pepper. I didn't add salt because there's salt in that soy sauce. Mix that and cover it. Now you can leave this for an hour, maybe an hour and a half actually would be even better. And as you can see, it really cooks down. And just before you're going to serve, you want to add in another can of chickpeas rinsed, 3 big handfuls of spinach, washed spinach, maybe even more. To be honest, I think this recipe could take more spinach than this. And I put in about half a chopped red pepper. Now those last 3 ingredients, you just want to warm those through. You don't necessarily want to cook them because you want to keep the texture there of the chickpeas and the crunch of that pepper. It's so good. So just cover it, leave it for about another 10 minutes. So everything's sort of warmed through. And now this is going to be ready to serve. And you can have this on potatoes. You could have this on rice. You could just have this straight up in a bowl. You could have this with just lots of greens on the side or cauliflower, loads of different ways. And as you can see, it's a huge portion. So you can actually freeze this and keep some in your fridge and in your freezer. And you've got meals for, I would say, between 6 and 8 portions. So that's why I make such a big meal, because then you don't have to cook for another couple of times. If you enjoyed this content and you would like to see more from me, more about the Starch Solution lifestyle, more about eating that healthy, whole food, plant-based way, then please consider subscribing. I will be dropping more videos on this channel all about this and all about why these foods are so good, so healing, so nourishing, not just for your body, but for your mind, for the environment, for animals. It's a real win-win-win situation. and I would love to hear from you too. Let me know in the comments where you're from. I am in the UK, as you can probably hear. I live in the south central part of the UK. So where are you guys? Are you Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Ireland? I would love to know where my viewers are. It would be really, really interesting for me to hear. And how easy is it for you guys to be whole food, plant-based where you are? I get comments from people saying that certain areas of the world are a lot more accepting or a lot more easy to eat this way. So that's interesting too, isn't it? Because I'm over in the UK and veganism is quite accepted here, but still, you know, there's a long way to go. Anyway, I'm rambling on. I will see you guys next week, and thank you so, so much for all of your support. Happy New Year. It's 2022. It's freezing, but it's sunny. All is good. Take care. Bye.